When Porsche added the Cayenne S.U.V to its lineup, loyalists reacted as if Beelzebub himself would ride in on the first one to usher in doomsday. Funny if it didn't become the best-selling vehicle the company makes. So, the smaller Macan makes perfect sense.
Curious about the name, Macan? Porsche says it's the Indonesian word for tiger, which is more exotic sounding than the German word for tiger, which is tiger.
Audi Q5 and Macan share an architecture, but consider this: there are no common body panels, the front and rear subframes are different, as is the engine cradle. About the only thing carried over from the suspension are the control arms. The stuff not seen is definitely felt, putting the sport in sport utility vehicle. It is a Porsche after all.
Macan's driving dynamic almost feels like it's rear-wheel drive. It's easy to forget that you're driving a crossover.
What makes it go? Well, in the S model, it's a 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 with 340 horsepower and 339 pound-feet of torque.
Porsche ignitions, famously on the left. I've been reaching to the right all week long.
Dampers, throttle, and transmission response can be fine-tuned. There are 7 speeds at your disposal. The legendary PDK dual-clutch gearbox is smart, quick, and decisive. We should all be that, huh? All-wheel drive is standard.
All right, for maximum thrill ride experience, put it into sport mode, foot on the brake, foot on the gas, release. It's just that easy.
And lots of fun. It takes 5 seconds flat to hit 60 miles an hour.
That's pretty darn quick, but the turbo is faster. Yes, this is a turbo engine, but there is a turbo model too.
More petite than Cayenne, Macan is chuckable fun. The lofty capabilities that keep drivers out of trouble are the same ones that lure them into it. It's very easy to find yourself north of the speed limit. Officer, braking is quite capable. I'll say it again, it's easy to forget this is a useful, practical vehicle.
I love the PDK gearbox. Listen to the shifts. Lightning quick.
The torque split gauge is a fun distraction. I pushed Macan hard and saw about 17 miles to the gallon on specified premium fuel. Porsche claims, with the right tires, moderate off-roading is no sweat. If you like fighter jet cockpits, you'll find this space mighty appealing. A bonus, Macan is much easier to valet park than an F-15. Suffer from compunophobia? The fear of buttons? This is not your ride. Perhaps they're compensating for the smaller, aging touchscreen interface. All body types should find a supportive position in the very adjustable thrones. Switchgear and trim pieces feel as solid and expensive as they look.
I am an average 5'9" and would call this space tailored. It is comfortable, but if you want loads of room to stretch out in your Porsche SUV, go with Cayenne.
It is well appointed back here, including side thorax airbags, tush toasters too. The phrase, two's company, three's a crowd, applies here, especially with the driveshaft bulge.
I pride myself on knowing the basic operation of cars without consulting the owner's manual, but have to admit the tailgate had me stumped. The release is very stealthy.
There's extra storage. I've picked up some ingredients from Melissa Clark. Optional air suspension makes loading heavy stuff easier. All the good practical stuff is here to make life easier. Well, almost everything. It stops at 6 packs of the 2-ply, a bundle or 2 shy of average. Base Macans with a turbo 4-cylinder start at $48,500. Smothered in options, this V6 S model is closing in on $71 grand. Selling a bunch of them generates profits that make better Boxsters, Caymans, and 911s. Contrary to the world ending, SUVs with Porsche DNA make the world a better place. Before I sign off, I'll make one thing perfectly clear. Macan and Q5 have completely different personalities, both visual and performance-wise. I've driven them both. Porsche engineers, being Porsche engineers, did extensive work on the architecture. There's a rumor that the structure was changed so much, it would have been simpler to start from scratch.
Thanks for watching to the very end. If you hadn't guessed, I rather like this car. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe page. Buy Tom a Porsche. Sounds a little selfish, huh? Yeah, man, not to me. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk, who doesn't own a Porsche, and probably never will.